Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a really fascinating topic, and maybe a little unsettling too. It could fundamentally change how you think about truth, history, even, well, reality itself. We're going to explore how AI isn't just predicting the future anymore. It looks like it might actually be rewriting our past. We're talking deepfakes, AI-generated books, fake evidence, and this really big question: what happens if history gets, edited by AI?
It's a huge shift because, as we'll unpack, history isn't just dates and names, right? It's really the foundation of who we are, our identity. And when that foundation is put at risk, well, the implications are enormous for you, for society.
Okay, let's get into this. So maybe let's start with the basic question. Why? Why do we even care so much about history? What's really at stake?
That's a great place to start. What's fascinating here is that history really is our foundation. It's how we understand who we are as individuals, as cultures, as a global society, really.
Yeah.
It's how we learn from past mistakes, hopefully. If you change history, you fundamentally change culture, identity, even politics. Because those stories we tell ourselves matter. They guide us.
Exactly. Our collective memory, you could say.
Yeah.
And now what's emerging is that AI has given us these incredibly powerful tools, tools that could potentially rewrite that memory, not just subtly, like in textbooks maybe, but through videos, images, audio that looks totally real.
Yeah.
Blurring the lines of what we even consider factual. It's happening fast.
Let's start with maybe the most visible threat: deepfakes. For anyone unfamiliar, deepfakes are basically AI-generated videos or audio. Someone's face, their voice can be convincingly swapped or manipulated, made to say or do anything.
Right. And these aren't just, funny memes on social media anymore. They're already being used in some pretty serious ways. Politics, scams, big disinformation campaigns.
Yeah, and this raises a really important question. What happens when that manipulation starts creeping into our historical records? Think about this. Back in 2020, U.S. intelligence agencies were already reporting that deepfakes were becoming a national security concern. Imagine a deepfake video of, say, a U.S. president declaring war. Before anyone realizes it's fake, markets could crash, people panic globally.
Wow, and the Pentagon actually has a whole program for this, right?
Right.
Metaphor. To detect these fakes.
That's right, media forensics. It shows how seriously they're taking it. But detection is always playing catch-up.
So let's stretch that idea out, apply it to history itself. What if an AI creates a convincing video of Abraham Lincoln saying something he absolutely never said? Or like Martin Luther King Jr. giving a speech that just didn't happen? You can imagine people watching those videos maybe 50 or 100 years from now.
Yeah.
They might just believe them, think they're real history.
And that's the core danger. Deepfakes don't just fake the present, they can actually fabricate the past. They can create entirely new historical narratives that, honestly, are indistinguishable from reality for most people. For the untrained eye, certainly.
Okay, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about AI-generated books, because this is happening too. Did you know there were already thousands, literally thousands, of AI-written ebooks sold on places like Amazon?
Yes, it's true. The New York Times reported on it earlier this year. They're flooding these platforms, and often readers don't even realize they're AI made. The tech can mimic writing styles pretty well.
So what's the risk for history there? I mean, imagine someone uses AI to write an entire history book. It could look super professional, right? Nice cover, maybe even cite sources, completely fake sources that don't exist, and it spreads misinformation as fact, all wrapped up in what looks like a legitimate book.
We'll connect this to the bigger picture. We already have debates, quite heated debates in the U.S. about how history gets presented in textbooks. In states like Texas and Florida, there are ongoing arguments about topics like slavery or civil rights. Different versions get taught. Now, add AI into that mix, it could just churn out alternate versions of history way faster than any fact checkers could possibly keep up.
That's chilling.
Yeah.
Because once that misinformation is out there, published and consumed, it spreads like wildfire. People start believing it, incorporating it into their worldview. It becomes truth for them.
And then there's another angle: fake evidence. This one is particularly scary, I think. In the U.S., court cases rely so heavily on video, photos, audio evidence. It's often seen as, the smoking gun. But what happens when that evidence can be completely faked, made to look absolutely real?
Right. I remember reading about a case, I think it was 2023 in California. Lawyers were warning that deepfakes could make it almost impossible to trust digital evidence in trials. If someone can generate a convincing video of you committing a crime you never did, how do you even begin to prove your innocence?
Exactly. And if the courts can't trust the evidence being presented, the whole foundation of the justice system starts to crumble, doesn't it?
It really does.
Now think bigger. What if AI is used to fake historical evidence? Like old photos of events that never actually happened, or documents that look like they came straight from the 1800s but are totally fabricated. Suddenly, our entire understanding of history, the stuff we thought was backed by solid evidence, could just be rewritten, undermined completely.
So this leads us to the big looming question over all of this. What if history actually gets edited by AI? What are the real consequences then?
If that happens, then we truly enter a dangerous era, what some historians